So the next step in building our streamer is to attach a Kevlar cord to it. I'm going to use the same Kevlar cord that I used on the rocket body. This Kevlar cord is 0.8 of a millimeter. It's very thin, and in a way that makes it a little difficult to attach because it's kind of hard to grip onto something like this and attach it securely to the streamer. So I'm going to show you what I did. What I generally do, but I can't do in this situation, is I like to put the cord, attaching it to a toothpick, and drop a CA glue. The CA glue soaks into the wood, it soaks into the Kevlar, it makes an extremely strong connection, and the toothpick now pulls on the streamer and it doesn't tear through because it's got a large area that it's pulling against. But we don't have much space. This body tube is very small. So I'm going to go for a different mounting technique, and I haven't flown this yet, so I'll find out when I launch this in a week or two. But what I did is I made a slip line loop on the end of this. So the slip line knot can vary in its length, and I put the end of it against one edge of the streamer. It runs up to the top and comes back, and then I pulled it tight. Now at this point, it'll fall off. So I now add a strip of tape. So on this side, the tape is sticking on one side of the loop, and this side is sticking on the other. Then I put another one on top of that just to make sure that it's relatively strong and doesn't zipper. What's important about this is that the force applied to the Kevlar cord now, and I'm putting quite a bit of force on it, is now applied equally to both sides, to this side and this side, because this knot, by the way, there's a very small drop of CA glue in this knot to make sure this knot doesn't untie and it stays nice and firm. So again, the force now is distributed when you pull on this on both sides of this streamer. What's interesting is that this the tape is just regular packaging tape, and it is extremely sticky, and it bonds really nicely to the Kevlar material. I'm very, sorry, not to the Kevlar, to the Mylar material. So I'm very impressed with actually just using that tape. I mean, it works. I've never had a single failure. So on the other end is the traditional loop that I put on here. This is just an overhand knot. Again, a very small touch of glue here to hold it in place and just trim it a little bit. And I use this to mount the streamer. Namely, I just put this through the loop on the body like this, and then put the streamer through, and it ties it right on. So rather than using snap swivels, which I certainly do not have space for in this particular rocket, it's really easy to use these knots, and this thin Kevlar line works just perfectly.